All right, everybody, welcome back to Here We Go Again. It's episode 14, and Stephanie's already given me a weird look. So if you want to see what that weird look is,
Why are you counting?
I was counting down because it's the last few seconds of the intro, and I was giving people that may watch the video when we upload it to YouTube, because we tape it, they'll want to see like why we're just sitting there saying absolutely nothing, because they don't hear the intro in the video. It's so the video is just us like like for the 30 seconds. So it's 30 seconds of downtime. But if I try to edit that video, it's a large file. So when I try to edit it, it takes like 30 minutes to upload. It's a lot of craziness. You'll be okay. You'll be all right. For the millions of views that we get, people will wait for 30 seconds. And I do that for the other show because the guys can't hear the intro music. Either it's just part of the whole setup, so it is what it is. But again, Welcome back. We are episode 14 this week. We had episode 13 last week, the unlucky number. That was a big topic of conversation, sadly.
Yes.
And now that we're on to 14, we have clear sailing, and we are into November.
Yeah,
possibly
way into November. Not way into November, but we're into it.
Yeah, I mean a solid week plus into November. And what do you think as far as
the 9th?
Oh, good. We're checking.
I said it's the 9th.
Yeah, there we go.
I was checking the date.
Yeah, we have that on the computers and stuff. I think yours is up in the corner there.
Oh yeah, Wednesday, November 9th, 3:47.
There we go. So
now people know that we do it at early times. We're not night owls.
Yeah,
they
we're
probably
definitely
think we're night owl podcasters.
Anybody who knows us that might be listening to this knows we're not night owls.
No.
Last night I had the other show that goes from like 7 p.m. 9 to 9. And we do that live. That's why that's like that. But we've said, one, we tried a live show like episode 2 when we had a whole computer glitch and your brain melted and it was a big nightmare where you were very angry and it was a thing. So we just tape it now. But we've done it on the same day. We've been consistent. I mean, compared to our first 2 go-rounds with this podcast where we did it like once a year. We've been pretty damn consistent.
When we had time. We have a little bit more time now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So November is here, and I know I've said this a few times, but I was thinking about this is November possibly one of the...
month.
You think it's the worst month of the year? Or of the
I think it's in my
top
fall?
10.
Well, I can't really say
top 10. There's 12 months. You hate all I don't even know what that means at that point.
Okay, I spoke too soon.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like my top 3, it definitely wouldn't be in my top 3.
3 worst months?
No, like my top 3 months altogether. Like if I had to say, which months are your favorite?
Oh, okay. So it's in the top.
Right,
you literally said, I said, November is were you just interrupting me to say that I was going to say it was the worst? Jesus Christ. I don't know how we've been married for all these years.
I think it's like checks and balances.
Yeah. It's like, because I provide checks and you...
I balance.
Yeah, you balance us out. That's for sure. No, I love November. I think November is better. It probably is one of the top 3.
For you.
The top 3 months. Yeah.
That's good.
I think
we can
so.
Have different months.
Yeah.
Well, what's your... I have my pen.
Well, I don't know why we're going to
What's your top 3? This is something fun.
The top 3.
What would you say for your months?
For my months. Okay, so favorite months. We're getting right into teen beat here. So I think it would probably be November.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
September.
Yeah.
July.
Oh, not August, huh?
Why would it be August? Because I was born in August?
Yeah.
Don't you know how much I hate my birthday?
You don't.
Yeah.
I would go with September as my first one.
Birth month. And
month.
everybody you know is born in September.
Well, all the good people I know are all born in the fall. And
there you go.
September starts the fall, so that's nice. So then next.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said November had to be top 3.
No,
You did. You said top 3. Well, you said in your top 10, and that really kind of threw it off. We'll play it back later on, and you'll see that you said top 3.
Figure out how to play it back now.
I'm not
everyone
going
listening
to
it live.
You're gonna pull the wires out because you're.
You'll literally hear me say November, it's the worst. The
You
worst. It would definitely be at the
You guessed it. What I was saying.
No, I was saying
Oh
that
my
it was
God.
also the worst.
We'll play this back, and Stephanie's gonna realize that
It wouldn't. And
she's
I
not
literally
even.
said, I literally said it wouldn't be in my top 10, and you're like, top 10. There's only 12 months.
You didn't even. Oh my God. Well, we'll play it back. We're not gonna bore the listeners
Anyways.
with the banter of us
So my,
arguing.
so mine would probably be. See the May maybe.
I don't. This is your opinion. You can't even. You gotta tell me what your opinion is.
I know, but
can't
sometimes
answer
May
this
is
for
like
you.
the fly.
You like fall. Everything you do, you
Everything
concentrate on fall. You've never once
September.
said anything about May except for
I like spring.
flies. Okay, good
But you
job.
never
I
know
like.
what- but you never
I
know
like
what you're
turtles.
gonna get with April and May. You
Mhm.
know, it could be rain or it could not be.
That's why it's not. It's really not a good month. But if you like
I do
it,
like June.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're
I'm gonna-
asking me these things like you. This was your bit.
October's tricky
Okay.
because it can be warm, but then it can be like.
Is this
super
all just
brutally-
based on the weather? Do you think about just like the overall feel or like the season of the month? Or is it just like, well, sometimes it rains, sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold?
It's like December. It's like it's nice because you have all the holiday parts. But-
December?
yeah.
Okay.
But then it's like the snow and everything that can make it kind of like scary and not fun. So it's just like that's definitely not in the top three. Top three. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad month.
Okay. all
And
right.
October would probably be in like a top 5. Maybe I guess it would
Boy,
be
I
the
bet
second.
people are riveted.
I guess I would like September, October, and June. That's when it'd be mine. I changed it. September, October, and June.
So, okay. So just pretty close. Not May? You sure? You kind of abandoned May real quick. You left May behind. May Day. May Day.
I know, and I do like Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah. Cinco de Mayo. That's really good.
It
But
would
we
be
can't
in my
get
top
a
5. I
margarita
guess.
any
You
other
know
time.
what? May would be my 5th month.
Your 5th month. I
For-
won't even ask you what your 4th is. I don't have time.
I don't know what my 4th month would be, but my 5th month would be definitely May because obviously it's the 5th month, and
Okay.
I just said Cinco de Mayo, which is the 5th of May.
Yeah, 5-5. Yeah.
So rounded up.
Look at you.
I know it isn't like the most exciting thing, but I bet people don't think about what.
I bet
How
they
they-
don't. I bet
how
they
they
really
rank
don't.
their
I bet they don't do it in a way
We've
that's
never
confusing.
ranked. We've
What?
never ranked the months.
No.
Like how we felt about them.
Oh my God. Anyway, if you're still listening, you're a saint or you're completely bored. And either way, I'm so sorry.
Or I
Like-
made you think.
Yeah, maybe you're sitting there saying,
I
God,
really
what?
like January.
I got 12
I don't know why
choices.
it's so miserable and everything's just dirty and dead.
Well, maybe the people
Sad.
listening, Stephanie, don't live in New England. Maybe January doesn't matter. If you live in San Diego, January, you don't give a fuck. It's nice all year
Unless
round.
you had a really bad holiday.
You had a really bad holiday?
Yeah.
Like one time, like everybody killed themselves or...
Well, I don't know. Sometimes that does happen on the holidays. But like if you just had like a really bad Christmas and New Year's, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have to go through the January all through that, and then like a resolution.
Well, you got May to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, if you had a bad Christmas and you're having you're like all your shit is bad, don't make a resolution. Don't add to your problems.
But
I
what
mean,
if you think that's gonna help you?
well, a resolution is not going to help. It might help you, but in general, it probably won't. Like I'm a big fan of New
Do you
Year's
like January?
I don't fucking have an opinion on January, honestly. I don't care about it at all. It's the
So when it like January 1st comes, or like you're not like, oh, January.
no.
Here we go.
Now here's what's kind of fucked
Like
up. is I'm-
February, short month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm always thinking. Just I think about every month like that. 100%. You have you really cracked the code for me, No, I don't think about months. I think about like
No, I
just
don't either.
day by okay, obviously. Day by day. It's just that's what it is. Right? Like I wake up and even each day the weather, it's like, "Oh, today's shitty. Oh, today's nice." That's it. That's all
Yeah.
there is to it. I'm not saying, "Oh, no, January, it's gross." It might be perfect. It might be
But you
beautiful.
always have to have a coat.
A what?
You always have to have a coat.
I wear shorts almost year round. What do I need? I have a coat. I have
No, I know.
I have
I know you
coats,
have a coat,
but
yeah.
for us in general, I just wear shorts. But yet, for us, January is a miserable month. February is miserable. March is gross. April gets slushy. May is a shit show with mud and everything else. And then you get to June for summer. July, beautiful. August starts to slip back into fall. September, October, November. Like November is a low. I know for the people that put on Thanksgiving, November is probably not the easiest month. But for those of us who go somewhere and just enjoy a good meal, November's tit.
Well, sometimes you have to travel.
You might have to travel. That's a good point. We don't really have to travel. Other people may have to travel, and that would suck. Yeah. That would suck that you've got to travel, a couple days before, or maybe even just the day before because you've only got a day or so off of work.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving should almost be like...
It's expensive to travel around that time,
It's expensive to travel in general nowadays, but it almost should be a week-long holiday.
Thanksgiving?
A little bit. A lot of places are closed for a week at Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's.
Well, I think it's because it's like there's Christmas Eve, then there's Christmas Day, then there's New Year's Eve.
I get it. I get how it works. I'm just saying.
So, well, there's only Thanksgiving.
But people traveled the day before. There's traveling the day after. People don't really want to travel. It makes it expensive. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the reality is, I don't know if I said it last time on this show.
I don't remember.
But I did. Why are we wasting time having a holiday like this where you just get together with your family and have a meal for this one particular day a year? I mean, your family could just plan it anytime they fucking wanted to. Like, let's all get together. Let's all get together in June, or maybe in the best month, May, and we're going to have a big fucking turkey dinner where turkey's like 8 cents a pound. Nobody gives a shit. Or you don't even do a fucking turkey.
Well, sometimes people have like things like that.
It's like you're literally having a meal with the same people you could have a meal with every Saturday if you don't have to travel.
Well, yeah, but sometimes, people have to travel.
God, why do we do stupid things based on these traditions? I mean, don't you think traditions are kind of dumb?
No, I actually like traditions.
In 2022, we still sit here and say the whole world or the whole country should shut down for one particular day for families to get together with a meal because what? Nobody has the forethought to be like, you know what? Thanksgiving's a nightmare with all the traveling and shit. Let's do it in May. Let's do it in June. Let's have a 4th of July party and call that Thanksgiving. And everybody will be there. Like, fuck. Why? Why not? Because everybody has to be a fucking tightwad with holiday traditions and make things miserable for themselves. People are masochists. Give it up. Let's start thinking with our brains. Put some thought into it.
I hope people are watching this because my eyes are like going back and forth. Like, this is like a lot.
It's not a lot.
Thanksgiving's just in November.
I know, but change it. Change it to be an open holiday, and you can have it whenever you want.
This isn't like an open marriage.
I didn't say anything about open marriage, but holidays should be like an open marriage.
Open holiday like
of course
that.
You can.
Changing the whole month. I can understand having like if you have to have like Thanksgiving like this weekend. I get it. If like everyone like works
have it whatever
better.
weekend works for you. Have it whatever month works for you. Like you want to plan your Thanksgiving.
It would be kind of weird if if we went to someone's house in May and did Thanksgiving. You'd be the first one to say, "Oh, it's fucking stupid."
No, I'd be more upset.
No, you wouldn't. You're literally
I don't
laughing
think
because
it's
you
stupid.
would. You know you'd say it.
No, I'm obviously telling you I would think that's genius. Somebody needs to do it. Why are we holding on to a date that makes no sense?
Well, everyone has a day off from work.
Well, yeah, I get that, but like, so do people have on Saturdays and Sundays.
Not all people.
Wow.
Not everyone.
Whatever. We're not gonna convince Stephanie. She's still trying to figure out what her favorite month is. She's still trying to decide between May and September.
Well, you just called everyone masochists or something. I think it just like got really aggressive.
I
probably
did.
Lost our listeners.
No, we didn't lose. We probably gained 7 because you know what? People are probably like, this guy is a fucking genius. And I probably remember those old Budweiser
like
things.
Some of these like holidays,
Real
like,
man of genius. Remember those commercials? That's me.
I get it, but I mean it's okay. Like I can understand having it like maybe not the exact day and like not dying over it, but like months ahead of time or months later, I think that's a
If you live in California and you celebrate Thanksgiving, there is zero difference probably between November and June.
Well, it's when
It
you
feels
celebrate it.
exactly the same.
Yeah, except you don't celebrate typically Thanksgiving and Mother's Day like weekend after weekend.
Well,
so
nobody
it'll feel
should.
weird.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
Don't-
Let's not get into Mother's
Yeah,
Day.
we don't have to go
We'll
through
lose the rest of our listeners. That day
Yeah.
could be postponed for
that. Anywho.
life. So anyway, listen. So let's get on to some of the other things. I don't know what else we really have going on.
Yeah, the whole month thing was kind of.
We might as well just cap it right there. That's 16
out
minutes
left
of months.
Field. I pulled that one right out of my back pocket for a little
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But go ahead. I interrupted. I apologize.
No, of course. I'm not surprised. People that listen to the show obviously can understand what I go through. I've completed 5.5 sentences over 14 episodes, so people know what's going on. People are down with the interruptions.
I believe on your last rant that you just went off on about why
You did not
Thanksgiving
interrupt.
isn't-
You cried or
Yeah.
something. You were like, you weren't even really paying attention. You were like, I don't even know what town I'm in.
Unless it's true.
What are some others? Yeah, what are some other exciting things that we can bring to the table here? I mean, SNL is back. We're big
Yeah.
SNL fans. SNL means Sunday night watching.
Yeah, because we watch it on Sunday because we tape it.
Yeah, we DVR. We actually don't DVR a lot of stuff. We actually pay for it, and sometimes it's kind of like, why are we paying for DVR considering so many things are available?
Yeah. Well, we tape it
on
for like,
streaming.
usually like sports things or something
Yeah.
like that. That's
No,
what
that's
we'll
true.
use it
That's
for.
true. But yeah, SNL's back.
SNL's back.
We've
It's
been
been a
enjoying
good
it.
season so far. I like the new cast, which it's not really too new,
It's kind of new. I mean,
I
there's
guess, but I like it. I think it's a really good cast. The season's been good so far. I've liked all the hosts.
Amy Schumer was the host, and I think
I liked her episode.
she was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't
liked
like
how
her
she did.
either, man. I cannot stand Amy Schumer. I don't like looking at her. I don't like
nice.
listening to. I don't care. I don't like listening to her. I think I know that I can be crude, but she takes it to another level. And I don't even like male comics that have to be like all about that
you're
kind of
not
shit.
really like you don't like that stuff.
No,
I
I
wouldn't say you're a prude, but sometimes like for
Nice.
things that you say, sometimes things that will upset you. It's like you were just talking probably about like donkey fucking or something for
What?
other show. So I mean, it's
I'm
like,
pretty sure I wasn't talking about donkey fucking.
but like like you guys talk about weird stuff like that.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. But I get it. But
But like, so I wouldn't say you are, but sometimes, yeah.
sometimes it feels just forced. I feel like she's
Yeah, I don't
forcing
like
it.
Yeah, I don't like
And
it.
you don't
but-
even like some of that shit. So as much as you're talking about me, I mean,
But I like Nikki Glazer.
yeah, you like Nikki Glazer, but she was talking about which parent she was going to have sex with. Like that's kind of
about it,
like it's a little bit of tearing down the fabric of I don't know morality in society. Like to use that in a comedy bit.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, that shows if your parents are listening, they can be excited about that.
My mom said worse to me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure what that means, but we're not even going to cover it. So, but SNL this week. Now, who's hosting this week? Not
Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
and Black Star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's a musical guest.
I literally thought when we saw that, when you sent me that thing about on
Oh,
Instagram,
when I sent it to you, it was.
I thought it was
literally
just
how
like
they
a label for
posted on
Dave
Instagram.
Chappelle because it was Post-its and it said Dave Chappelle, Black Star. It's like,
If
yeah,
anyone follows SNL on Instagram, they do it every week. They put the first post-it is the date, and then the second is the host, and then the third is the musical guest.
there you go.
But yeah, but the season, all their hosts so far have been good. Even the ones I didn't even know.
I can't believe Dave Chappelle's going to be on SNL. SNL's gotten pretty like PC and woke in certain things, and I know some
See,
people don't
were
like that
saying-
term.
People were saying that, and I thought that they've been doing a really good job. I
This
think
year they've been pretty
I
good.
think they've been good about kind of like hating on each side, equally hating or equally making fun of. Not saying hating because it's not really hating. It's just a joke. Like it's literally what's going on. Like if you don't laugh about it and like just think about what's going on in our world, it's pretty terrible and awful. So like you gotta.
Well, you
laugh.
need some satire, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And you do, like you said, you do have to laugh at both sides. To have it be one-sided
Yeah,
is where.
everyone's a moron.
Listen,
so.
it's still a business. It's still a show. They need to get people watching. And if you
Oh,
just
right, yeah.
if you just pander and to one side of the aisle, so to speak. I mean, you're only going to get half the country, and the other half's not going to watch, and you need to sell
Right.
advertising. So I'm sure Lauren, we're going to need to put on a kind of an equal show here. That's a terrible Lauren Michaels,
Yeah.
right? I was supposed to do like Austin Powers,
Oh.
Dr. Evil. I'm Dr. Evil. Usually I can do impressions, but I had this drink. I had a lot to drink.
Oh.
So my impressions are weak right now.
Unlike your drink.
Unlike my drink. That's right.
Bing.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, that'll be exciting this week. I mean, again, we will watch it on Sunday night. I think that's kind of become our tradition
Yeah.
to watch it. There's no way we're ever going to see something would have to be really, really wrong. Like maybe if we were like at a hospital emergency room or
That we stayed up and watched it live.
yeah, somebody would have to be on
I did
oxygen.
I did put our name in the email, like, giveaway that they do.
For
or something.
tickets.
Yeah, but they never emailed me.
That's okay. I think we
know.
get the best seats. Plus, we don't have to drive into New York.
Yeah, but it was a surprise. Could you imagine if we got them for this weekend?
Yeah.
Or if we got them for when Jack Harlow was?
What is your obsession with Jack Harlow?
Nothing. It's just funny to see your reaction.
Oh God. So what else have we been up to? Oh, you know what? So last
Craft
weekend,
fairs.
yeah, craft fairs, craft fairs.
There's
Craft fairs.
There is a.
Stop telling me that there's a big craft fair because you drug my ass to a craft fair that probably could have fit in our studio here with a lot of sad-looking people selling shit that nobody wanted.
I don't know what a penny bazaar is, but there's one this weekend. and I'm
Oh, that's where you buy tickets and you put your tickets in the little, like there's raffles. It's like
Oh,
a
fun.
raffle.
That's what I think. Maybe when Lily and I do stuff, we like to go to find craft fairs. So
What is the obsession with craft? Like sometimes I like crafty
Sometimes
things,
it's like-
obviously, but
I think it's just like going, just like seeing what's. There's just something to do.
God, it's like carnival life. Like people look so sad,
Some people do look
right?
sad
They
in the
look
craft
sad
fair.
because they're welcome signs with crooked letters.
Well, it's supposed to be kitschy.
It's not kitschy. It looks terrible. I think crafts need to be like this. You need to be at a level in between store-bought and 6-year-old. And the shit we saw at
Well-
that craft fair was more 6-year-old than store-bought.
Yeah, we didn't even go. The first one, it was a cute little school, but it was
Yeah.
a very small,
Very small.
very small little craft fair, and there just wasn't anything that was grabbing us. And then the second one,
We
It
just
just-
drove right by.
it looked a little scary. I don't think it would have been.
There was like 6 parking spots in the back alley of a church off of a side road. Yeah, it wasn't going to be good. And one of them was drawing all the good stuff, I guess. And maybe it was the first one. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the downgrade to that second one? What the fuck would it have been? Nazi potholders?
Oh,
Like,
God.
holy
Yeah.
shit.
I'm not too
There was
sure.
nothing left. One table at that craft fair, the lady was selling shit that you like that you buy at the county fair for like a nickel. Like you can tell her husband was like, "Dude, we got to unload this shit before we go to
Yeah,
prison."
it did look like trucks.
Trucks, it was stuff that glows. It was LED light up swords and animals and probably those weasel balls and like as seen on TV in 1987.
Yeah, see.
It was gross. The
It
whole
wasn't
thing
good.
was gross.
So it wasn't a good one,
Smelled
but
bad.
you know there are some other bigger ones coming up. So
Well,
it's-
have fun. Like I don't even like crafts are the other problem too. Is like, look, I bought you this thing. It was 3 times as expensive as a store bought thing.
well, yeah, some
and
of
it
the
looks
things.
10 times worse. Like fuck. Like what a waste of cash. But I know you're supporting like a small business, but you're probably not. You're probably just supporting a meth addict because those people look like hard up for cash. Like, what are you looking at over there?
I'm looking up the penny bazaar.
Oh, jeez, you're bizarre. Like, Why? Why are we
Well, I wanted
looking
to
at
see
it now? Why
well, I
do you
just
do
wanted to
these
see
things?
where it was. Well, it gives us content.
It's not content when you stop talking because you're searching for things we've already
I'm not
discussed.
stopping.
Oh, Christ. If anybody's looking to do a podcast and pretend to be my wife for an hour or so
I
a
don't know if
week,
anyone could pretend.
let
to
me
be your
know.
wife.
I bet there could be. I bet there's some people that could suffer through. Look at this face.
You can't pretend though. It's not
Look
like
at
an
this face.
acting job. It's
If-
like you have to live the life of Ken's wife to understand. Like,
Lucky to have me.
yeah, every day I think I
You should.
wake up and I say, "Oh, thank God he's in my life."
Okay, well, since you're saying that sarcastically, it
I'm not
sounds
saying
like
that sarcastically.
sounds like if I died, your thing would be like, "Oh, thank God he's gone."
No, that's not true.
Can't wait to do the
You
podcast
say-
with another.
I was saying it the same way that you say that everyone should thank.
People should
every
thank
day.
God that I'm in their life. I don't care. I don't care if it sounds narcissistic or terrible. I'm a pretty even keel person. I do a lot of
Yes, that's
shit
why I
for
said that.
everybody. And I think that based on comparisons to other people that are around us and that we know and through the years and shit like that, God damn it, I can feel pretty good that I'm a pretty decent individual that makes sure that I put a lot of people first. So yeah, fucking A, right. I can wake up and my affirmation can be, hey, people are lucky to have you in their life. Isn't that
I think
what
that was like an SNL thing, like back in the day, and people like me.
that was a movie.
Oh,
That was a movie with Rodney Dangerfield's Ladybugs. And people like me. And then
No,
the guy
there
pulls up
was-
in a car next to Rodney Dangerfield. He was talking to himself, and the guy says, I think you're an asshole. Something like that. You're going to look it up. That's great.
yeah, because
It was Rodney Dangerfield in Ladybugs. That's how the movie starts. He's listening to a tape.
Stuart Smalley's. It's Al Franken.
Yeah, but it's still, like, look up again.
Stuart Smalley Daily Affirmations YouTube.
Okay.
This is, I don't want to play it.
No, don't play it. But I'm telling you, if you search up...
And this is 2000. Okay,
Again.
Ladybugs, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So anyway, wasting more time. So yeah, damn it, why not? Like people pay a lot of cash and put a lot of effort in to feeling good about themselves. Fuck it. If I'm doing it for free, why not?
I
Right?
wasn't saying it sarcastically.
Well, I'm just saying, like, sometimes I get sensitive to it because I'm not an asshole. I'm not
I
like
never
a
said you were.
self-centered bastard, but I do think that sometimes. I think everybody should think that because if you don't think that, then try harder. Right? If you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't know if people even really like me and my family, well, then fucking
In my
work at
family.
it. Yeah, of course.
I don't think
Family, friends. If you don't think your friends think that you're worth it, then fucking either get new friends or work harder at it. I don't know.
that. I don't think that.
Honestly, I think that's what the world needs. People need to realize that they do have value beyond the shit that they maybe share or add to social media and put out there in the workplace. Like, you have value. That's all. Right?
Yeah.
You look like a deer in the headlights. If you want to see Stephanie looking like a deer in the headlights, check out our video. It'll be on YouTube. Just search XCast Ken. You'll be able to see that. It'll be nice. We try to
love-
share clips.
I think I like my favorite part is
Yeah.
when I find in the episode when you're going to do like your plugs because you like pop them in like Pop Tart.
Oh
like,
yeah,
randomly
I just
throughout
put
the
them right in there.
episodes.
Well, it'd have
Yeah.
you could do some if you wanted to. You want to do
Nothing.
plugs?
Yeah.
No. Okay. You've become obsessed with some podcasts. Like I've always been into podcasts.
Oh, like start
And-
listening to them?
I didn't think you were doing multiples. Like, oh, now I've got one with my boyfriend. Like,
I don't know, boyfriend.
well, I hope not. That should remain to be seen. It was just funny the way you were like, oh, you mean listening to them? Yeah. I didn't think you were doing other podcasts. I
Oh,
would not
no.
think
No,
I
no,
would
no,
know.
no,
This is,
No, Doug and I do not have time to do a podcast.
yeah, Doug's very busy.
That would be kind of fun.
No.
It would
see?
have to be. It would have to be
If you-
through video too.
If you think that doing a podcast with a dog would be interesting. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you've been listening to a lot of podcasts from a lot of comedians because we really got into comedians.
I've
Like,
only been
went hard.
listening to 3.
Well, that's 3 more than you generally listen to.
Yep.
Because you've been listening to Theo Vaughn,
The Oban, yep.
2 Bears, 1 Cave.
Yep.
And then what's the third one?
Your
Your Mom's House?
Oh, yeah, I listened to that one too.
Oh, so that's 3.
No, the Laguna Beach one with Stephen
So that's
Colletti and Kristen
4.
Cavallari. Yeah.
Well, that one doesn't sound funny. I listened to the first 2 episodes of that with you.
Yeah, but you didn't.
and it was pretty terrible as far as podcasts go.
Okay, first of all, don't say that because I think it's good. And you didn't watch Laguna Beach, and it's
That's
like
true.
They're rewatching the show,
Yeah.
and they're rewatching each
I
episode.
get the concept.
Which
It was
I
bad.
have listened. Have you listened to the ones where they do like?
I'm not going to listen to more of that. I listened to 2 episodes with you.
Like other, but like The Office does it. I know
Nope.
like more
Nope.
other people.
I've
have,
listened.
like,
I've tried.
rewatched.
I've tried. I listened to one with Rob Lowe and another guy when they were doing Parks and Rec.
Okay.
And I never watched Parks and Rec.
Rob Lowe was on Parks and Recreation.
He was, yeah. He wasn't. I don't think it was like first season, maybe second or third. And that it was like the director of the show or the creator, not the creator, but whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking terrible. There's a lot of podcasts that are really just straight trash. And I'm not saying ours is great, but there's a lot of just shit podcasts.
Well, I think there's a lot of podcasts out there, and I think sometimes, depending on what episode you start on, some episodes can be better than others. I think with any podcast, but no, I liked it because I really loved Laguna Beach.
Yeah, it was just a scripted TV show that made you think that these people existed. And they did exist, but it was like scripted.
I mean, I did watch, like, obviously, like all
fake
those
news.
MTV reality shows. So it's like I knew in some sense that, like, it couldn't be totally real, but it's just kind of funny, like, hearing some of the things. And the last one, I haven't listened to it yet, but like Elsie's on it, and that was like obviously the big thing on Laguna Beach with like Lauren Conrad and Kristen Cavallari. Like they just made them hate each other, and they really didn't. But so those are the ones I've listened to.
What's now Kristen Cavallari? She's made a name for herself, right? She's got like a whole brand and stuff like that.
They
Now
both do.
Lauren Conrad does.
Yeah.
What did she have? Something at Home Depot or something?
No. So Lauren Conrad, she came out with a clothing line. And I don't know if it's at Kohl's that you can get it, but she came out with that a long time ago, and then she has a makeup line, and then Kristen Cavallari, she has it's like a jewelry company.
That's it?
Like
Just a jewelry thing? I thought she had she had the clothing line.
They could sell. I don't know if she has a clothing
No,
line.
she was married to Jay Cutler, right?
Yeah, they just got divorced.
A couple years ago, though. He's a douchebag. He's
maybe
like
2 years ago. It might not be even 2 years ago.
Yeah, nobody wakes up and thanks God that Jay Cutler's in their life.
Does he still play football?
No.
No. Okay.
No, he was literally one of the biggest douchebags in all of sports. Nobody liked Jay Cutler, and obviously she didn't either. Like he was a lot.
She lives in Nashville because her business is based out of Nashville. Because I think he played. Is there? No, there's no team in Nashville.
The Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they're in Nashville?
I mean, I don't know if they're in Nashville, but they're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But no, he played for the Bears.
Just the Bears only?
The Bears.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware. He may have gotten traded later on, but I don't think so. I think it was like the Bears and then he was done.
Yeah. But she's had, I think they had a show too. Like, obviously she's had.
Oh, yeah, they had a reality show.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's done stuff, and she's had like cookbooks and other things like that. And
yeah, just cashing in, baby. Just cashing in.
I mean,
on the name before it fades.
I mean, she's done a pretty good job on. It's like MTV like screwed them, like on Bunny, their name, all rights, and all that kind of stuff.
They signed up, so
right,
and they got famous, and it's paying off now. So
and that's what they say, which is kind of nice. It's like, what did they know? Like they were just like dumb high school kids or whatever, not knowing anything and thinking, cheap money was good for it, not knowing how much money they were actually bringing in to like MTV or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm sure she took advantage of like knowing people, and like she's made a good name for herself. So I mean,
that's the key, man.
I don't think she's considering people can just be, either use their name to create a brand or make a name for themselves, like, do it. Like, you worked hard in the sense of being in front of the camera. But I don't think she's like just being like, oh, signings, like, see Kristen
No,
from
no, no.
Laguna
What I'm
Beach. So
saying
it's like,
is like she
that
was
would be kind
popular.
of pathetic if people used that, like, oh, I was on this show.
That's literally almost every convention that people go to where they sign autographs and things like that. Like listen, I've been to these things. Like
But
I was the
not-
young boy in episode 12 on Lost in Space. Like that shit
No,
happens.
I get that, and I understand if people go to conventions like that, but if you just don't do anything else and don't try to like make money and like literally just sit at home waiting for someone, like, that's like, you gotta still work for a living.
Well,
That's
and what
all
I'm
saying.
what I'm saying is listen, what she did, she was famous, or both of them perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
They were famous from the show, and they took advantage of that short window, that 15 minutes of fame, and they've turned it into something. If Holly Homemaker was sitting at home and came up with the same designs, same ideas, Kristen Cavallari, even if she had like her best day on Etsy will never equal like 1 hour of Kristen Cavallari's life, because
Oh, yeah,
Kristen
she
Cavallari
knows.
was fucking famous. So she
Oh, yeah.
capitalized on her fame. It's not, her designs probably wouldn't mean shit. Like you would never be like, oh, look at this lady named Holly's fucking earrings. I don't know, whatever. Click, click, click. Oh,
Yeah, obviously it's in your face more. So
yeah, exactly. And good for
Yeah.
them. Listen, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Like
I
she
don't
could have
blame
sat
her
back.
for-
She could have sat back and said, "I'm Kristen Cavallari. I'm married to an NFL
Yeah,
player."
she could have
Been a
easily been like,
cunt.
oh, I should get a jewelry line because of whatever.
Yeah,
But
no.
obviously
She did it. Like she put that time in.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's like, I listen to Joe Rogan, like a lot of other people, and he's building a comedy club in Austin, Texas, and his goal is to not make money off of it, but to give a spot to platform young comics and things like that and grow a community, because he has the cash. So in his way of quote unquote giving back, I know it's not the same as helping homeless people and shit, but to start something where he's not even worried about making money.
Yeah.
It's just about growing talent, farming talent, and letting people, because he loves comedy. And so some of these people are doing just that. They're taking advantage of their name, and instead of just sitting back and spending cash, they're building something with it. So congrats to them. But I still wouldn't listen to that podcast again. It was a
Yeah, it wasn't your
horrendous,
thing.
but they might have gotten better. Maybe after episode 3 or 4, they kind of settled into they were just the way they were talking. It's like, I don't think they understand anything that they're doing.
But I think you might not have understood what they were talking about.
Oh no, I get the show. I get what they were talking about. I look at it from a back, like the backside of the the podcast situation, knowing that they're having like their awkward pauses and like their conversation, like how they structured it. You could tell it was like, if you listen to a lot of first episodes of podcasts, they almost all sound the same. Oh, hey, welcome to our first episode. It's always the same formula. People
Yeah.
say almost the exact same thing for every podcast. And this shit, that was like 30 years ago or 20 years ago now, too. I mean, they're lucky that it's people even fucking care. The only thing that makes people...
Hello.
I
It's my
know.
age. It's my age group.
If it wasn't a scripted show, would you be as interested in the content? Or is some of the draw the fact that, like, hey, they kind of pulled one over on us? I'd like to hear
I was
some
in
of
high
what
school at the
happened.
same exact time. So it was just very relevant to my life finally.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in MTV time watching Real World, Road Rules. That was all too old for me. Like I was 12 watching that. Like none of that stuff was happening to me. And it's like, as I was getting older, they were still having those shows, but it's like, it wasn't as like whatever. But then when Laguna Beach came out, I was like, oh my God, this is so relevant, because these girls are actually the same age as me. Like, we're going through these same awful things, even though they're still scripted. They still had like a relationship. There still was the part of like a potential
Being rich in Malibu, so it's kind
but
of
they
like you
weren't
could relate
rich.
to that.
That's the thing. They were okay. Lauren's parents had money, but Kristen and Steven's parents did not.
But they wanted, but the show
But they
made it
that's
portray
exactly
that
it.
they
But
had money.
But there was never a part of me where I was like, oh, that's where they live. And it's like, okay, that's no different than kids who live in like 2 affluent towns by us.
But it's totally different. You would never, if
I guess. I don't know. It was just.
you wouldn't have watched the show, and I'm not saying this about you specifically.
You are, though.
No. I'm saying teenagers in general
Yeah.
would have no use to watch a reality show. At that time, it was perfect timing, but nobody would have wanted to watch a show about average kids in an average town doing all those same exact things. What appealed to people at that time, because the OC was out, all these shows about kids in California.
They took advantage of, like, obviously that situation, but
people wanted to be rich.
It still worked out, and I think it was just they finally were able. Maybe it was just my
Might have been that you're moving the microphone. That's okay.
It was just also something that they were able to have a reality show of high school kids, and that was something that was going on with the OC. So it was just
Did you watch the OC?
No, I watched OC.
Oh, see, I like the OC. I know it was obviously very scripted.
No, I
first
watched,
season anyway.
I obviously watched like Dawson's Creek, and I watched a little bit of One Tree Hill.
Ugh.
Just like the first 2 seasons.
I never watched it. Every
And
episode was that
then-
kid punching somebody. It was every trailer.
And then by the end, let's see, Dawson's Creek. I don't know. Then like I had a boyfriend. I like was done high school, so like I wasn't watching too much TV.
Oh wow, that sounds
I mean,
intense.
I had shit to do.
Yeah, there we go.
I
did not watch any of those. I did not watch One Tree Hill. I did not. What was the other thing you rattled off there?
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. I did not watch.
Oh, you watched
Dawson's
Gilmore
Creek.
Girls.
I did watch Gilmore Girls, but that wasn't until I was later. I was older.
Gilmore Girls was when I was in high school.
Well, I know, but I watched it because it was on for a while. Man, I love that show.
Yeah.
It's tough to rewatch. I don't think it ages as well.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad.
I know my daughter would kill me because she loves Gilmore Girls. I love Gilmore Girls. It's a very well written show. But
2000. Yeah, so I was literally.
I guess I started watching it was only like 2 years old. So I guess that's not me 2 years old, but the show was 2 years old.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So I guess I was into it for almost the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I thought it was like on earlier, and I caught it near the tail end. But again, that's not very interesting for anybody. But that's a great show. What other things? We were talking about podcasts, and we got into the whole Laguna Beach.
You said to me, "Oh,
Tom Segura, you listened to. We saw him. We saw him live.
Yeah.
He's on a couple of those shows that you listen to. So you really like Tom Segura. I like Tom Segura. His comedy is probably right up my alley.
I do like Tom Segura.
He is not a PC guy on stage, but behind the scenes, he's kind of like he's a little more mellow. Don't you think?
I think he's like the same.
That you think he's like the same person?
Yeah, like obviously, like when he's on stage, it has to be whatever. But listening to him in his 2 different shows, the one they does with his wife and the one they does with Bert Kreischer, and seeing him on stage, I mean, you're getting what you see. Like it's not like an act or something like that where he's totally different. Like especially the 2 episodes.
I like how he care. Like the whole, he doesn't fucking care what people think, and he doesn't like people. It's kind of like when I watched Jerry Seinfeld. I think Jerry Seinfeld and I would be best friends. I think if he got to know me. I know that sounds like such a cliche thing. Like, I think this guy and this, we'd be best friends.
Well, maybe if Martha Stewart and Jerry Seinfeld want to call us up and we can all get lunch, that would be like the best lunch date.
Do you think
ever.
You think you would be friends with Martha Stewart?
I would just hope to just have her just teach me something if she could. Like I think Martha Stewart is awesome.
I think Jerry Seinfeld and I could talk about how much we don't like people.
Oh, I'd like to like be with it too, but I think like they're just.
But Martha Stewart would be like, "Okay, Stephanie, it's great to meet you, honey. This is fun. Now let's make some cookies." And she's like,
I think she would.
What have you done?
Yeah.
The horror.
I think, but like she would just be like, you know what? I'm gonna take care of this, and you're just gonna watch. And, and I think it'd be fine.
That sounds like everything. That sounds perfect for you.
I would love that. That would be an awesome lunch.
An awesome lunch. I
think
like how that you've planned it as a lunch.
if they were available. Like,
Right.
obviously, we would make time. But
Yeah.
yeah, if we got a call, I think I would drop dead if Martha Stewart.
You drop dead to meet a 75-year-old woman.
If she literally contacted me, it's like, I think that would be fun. Like, that's so nice.
Oh, that gives me anxiety, the thought of having to talk
my
to
God,
like
driving
somebody
up to
on
New York.
TV. Driving up to New York. What?
Like,
Where are we
upstate
going?
New York, where
Yeah.
Martha Stewart's house. Like, oh my God, I would ask if I could bring Doug.
We're going to bring Doug.
I would ask.
Of course. We're going to... This dog is giving me an ulcer.
Okay, she loves dogs. So, I mean, like, I think she would be okay with it. And it's like, I would ask.
I love that one of the first things you're thinking of when meeting this celebrity idol,
Martha
girl
Stewart.
crush, whatever, meeting Martha Stewart. One of the
Yeah.
first things you're thinking of is, oh, I wonder if I could bring Doug. God, that Frenchie's driving me
Can I
insane.
bring my French bulldog Doug to meet you as
Yeah,
well, Martha?
she's probably like, oh, honey, no, I can't have him here.
Thank
He's
you. I
probably-
appreciate you letting me ask.
Yeah.
I would be so.
He's probably not trained
Yeah.
well enough to be in
I
my
would-
home.
I would probably I think I would be really nervous, and I would probably say to her, I don't want to embarrass you. I just want to be as great as you are. How do you do it?
She goes, well, first I start by sharing reels when I'm going to get paid for it. So that's the first thing, honey. We start with the first letter of the alphabet. A is for ambition.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like,
Write that down.
let me take a note.
All right.
Amphibian.
I would probably say, I think I might need to move in with you.
Yeah,
Can I be your posse?
Yeah.
Can I be your assistant?
Yeah, be careful how you pronounce that. I mean, meeting her would be cool. Meeting Jerry
Yeah, Jerry
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld would be pretty cool with me.
I would want to hang out. Okay, so meeting Jerry Seinfeld, very cool. But I think I'd want to combine it with like Larry David.
That would be your line.
Talk about the holy trinity right there, the three of us. Just
Yeah.
talking to people like, why are you talking to me? Why are you
Yeah.
near me? You
Yeah.
think we're going to be friends? Did I give off a friend vibe?
Did I look at you?
Do I owe you money?
Yeah.
Do I owe you money?
That was the
Why are you
best.
looking at me?
That was the best line.
So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I would be nervous. Like I'm not gonna come across like I'd be like, oh, I'd be fine. Like no, it's a lie. You're talking a couple billionaires. Billionaires based on being funny, and Jerry Seinfeld is like not using this term like whatever. He's like a comedy Nazi. Like he's very much like he's super structured. He puts
Yeah.
work into it.
I know.
Work.
We should have saw him when he was. I regret not getting those.
It's
tickets.
okay.
I know.
We got the money in the bank, and we still
It's
saw
okay.
the special.
I'm now on the pre-sale bug. So
Oh,
if I get them
great.
again, well, I've gotten our other tickets pretty cheap.
Luckily the people I wanted the family to go see Jeff Dunham as far as comedians go because I think
Yeah.
that's a good family one. The kids haven't watched a lot of stand up because there's trying to find good clean ones, and there are Nate Bargatze, Jim Gaffigan. There's some good clean comics, but some of them it's like
Jerry
whatever.
Seinfeld's pretty clean.
Jerry Seinfeld is a clean comic. But to go see Jeff Dunham with the puppets, it was, I want to say it was like $250 or $350 a ticket. And at that point,
Yeah, I
man,
think it was pretty.
take a puppet and suck a ghost stick because nobody should pay $350 to go see you do your set when you can just watch some of the old shit on like YouTube.
Yeah,
Fuck
and I mean,
off. You
it's
got puppets, dude.
the crap part is, I think, in that sense where he's not making his tickets that expensive. It's the people who are like reselling them.
Well,
or
that's why you
reselling
gave
them.
Taylor Swift shit, and because she's trying to save consumers from that.
I understand that, but she also is making people on Ticketmaster wait almost a week and a half to get in the waiting list. So it's like those people that she's trying to eliminate, which I get and I appreciate, but there's those people from the ticket places or the people they're just going to do the same thing.
Right.
So it's like
But for the comedians we're talking about seeing, you're
They-
talking light years difference as far like Theo Vaughn. We're going to see.
Yeah.
Who else?
Sam Morril.
Sam Morril.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, these guys you're getting tickets.
They're up and
Excuse me.
coming. Well,
Theo
Theo
Vaughn-
Vaughn's pretty
Theo
big.
Vaughn's a big guy. Both of them are kind of bigger names, like
Sam
in the
Morril's
comedy
coming
scene.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean,
But he doesn't do like arenas or
no,
venues.
no,
Like,
a lot of
we're
guys
seeing-
do not do arenas.
We're seeing Theo Vaughn at the Cavalier in Medford,
It sounds
and-
scary.
and then we're seeing Sam Morril at the Wilbur.
Mm.
We could have seen Theo Vaughn's doing the Wilbur too, but I wanted to see him on a Thursday. I wanted the first show. I wanted the very first show for Theo Vaughn. I
Oh,
don't know
really?
why.
Sometimes the second show is better because then they're in their groove. You get the
Yeah,
first
but
one
it
out
was
of the
like
way.
I know, but
Might be later at night.
gang,
be
gang.
sleeping.
I just wanted that.
Gang, gang. Gang,
on
gang,
that first
baby.
Show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, he's funny. I like how Theo Vaughn, and you can tell after a while. You listen to his podcast a little bit. You can listen to his comedy. It's kind of his shtick that he likes to say weird things as segues on things.
I think it's just what kind of comes in his. Honest to God, I think it's just kind of like what comes in his head, and like just how he's like.
kind of like with your mama.
I guess. What do you mean?
That's kind of the stuff he says. Like when you're like, oh, it just comes in his head, and then he'll say something kind of like, oh yeah, that's what my mama used to say. Like,
Oh, like
they'll have
he
weird
was,
little.
He had Mike Rowe on this week, and he was like, "Oh, how many more minutes we got? Okay, let me or some questions. Do you remember your first kiss?" And it's just like starts. So it's like some things and be like, "Oh, I can't remember my first kiss," but man, it's just like how he'll like say the random things, like or
yeah,
how,
he was talking. I was
or how
listening-
some kid on their bus used to bite people.
Yeah, I was listening to that same episode, and he was literally like, they were talking about Mike Rowe was talking about one time on Dirty Jobs because he was the host of that show, and talking about having to jerk off a horse, and or a cow or
Let me
whatever.
see that wiener.
Yeah, and he, Theo Vaughn goes, "Oh man, imagine that thing getting out on a schoolyard," and it's like,
Just like
like,
where
what?
do you
I
come
mean,
up with some of that stuff? But I think it's like
it'd be terrible.
it's just like where he's from. I don't know. It's just
It's
like
just
some
it's
of
all
this-
the play. It's like he's playing up, being kind of like dumb. He's playing
I
up.
don't know. Sometimes I think it's just
Sometimes you think he's just legit dumb.
no. I think it's just sometimes how people just say things like off the cuff.
It goes back to that whole
don't
thing where it's
know.
like, oh, my cousin got bit by a gay dude once. We'll see. Like, it's just crazy. But it's funny, man. I love
That's
comedy.
like a joke too, but I don't take the podcast as like his stand-up.
It's close. It's not far off.
I know, but that's why I think like with Tom Segura in his podcast and stand-up, they're pretty.
Kind of. I see what you're
But
saying.
it's like, but it's like how they're written, like that joke where he's like, "Oh yeah, my cousin got bitten by a gay dude." We'll see. Like obviously, like that's part of the joke, and we started in the stand-up. But when he's like talking, like with Mike Rowe, he's like talking about like trying to get people doing like plumbing or
Right.
like those types of. And he's like, "Oh, I remember guys my town power washing. If you didn't have anything, all you needed was just a power wash." It's like what?
It's true.
So-
It's a little business you're gonna have just
But that's
power
what he
wash.
was saying.
Yeah.
So
Did
I
you
don't
watch
know.
a lot of comedy growing up?
Yeah, I watched a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched
See,
a
me too.
lot.
Me too.
I watched
like
a lot
tons.
of SNL.
Oh, well, that's not really stand up.
No,
I know what you're saying. Like I'm not.
I watched
I'm not
SNL,
disparaging.
and then I just watched stand up whenever it was
You
on.
did you ever watch like HBO specials, like people that had
We didn't have
HBO specials?
HBO, so it was like PBS. So I
Oh.
watched a lot of Paula Poundstone.
Ugh.
Okay, well that's what PBS gave me, and then I just watched whatever was on, and they would have comedians on.
Oh yeah, so you never did the HBO specials.
I
like-
never, not until like middle school. Like I started like the Chris Rock one.
God,
where
I was obsessed.
the whatever the special is, where he's like, you can't slap a bitch, but you can shake the shit out of her. Whatever.
Oh, I
that
don't
was
know.
my first comedy special I ever saw. Whatever Chris Rock special that was, and then from then on, I just got into
Well, he had
like Dave Chappelle.
Bigger Blacker. Wasn't that one of Chris Rock's? You can look that up. That'll be Googleable.
Yeah.
Not
Chris
saying that in a
Rock's
demanding way, but
specials.
curious what. I want to say one's bigger, blacker.
Bigger. Oh, Chris Tempest.
Anyways, this is some dead air that
No, it's not dead air.
it's a little dead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's even. You're on like pictures of Rolling Stone.
It's not. It's supposed to say.
It's okay.
Yeah.
He has some specials. He's killing it right now. He owes Will Smith a couple $1 million.
I know. I so regret not getting when he had.
No, because he didn't talk about it. The people in
Oh
Boston
no, I don't.
complained that it was like they all wanted to go. His ticket prices shot way up after
They
that
did
Oscars.
shoot way up.
At
Yeah.
Oscars, they were like $40. And I think if you're saying anything, your level of regret might have been that we didn't buy them at
Bigger
$40.
and blacker.
Yeah, bigger and blacker. And didn't turn around and sell them for like $200 a piece when we had the chance. Because we could have.
Yeah, but I mean, I probably wouldn't have. I don't think I.
No, you would have.
Never scared. I don't. I mean, that was my first one that I watched of him. I don't know. It was just Chris Rock. That was my first one, and then I started watching whatever I could get my hands on, because I would just get stuff from Blockbuster.
Oh my God, Blockbuster! That's funny. That's a show we started watching
Oh
on
yeah, that
Netflix. You
that
like
one-
that show? That's
I
a.
do. I like that guy. I can't think of what his name is.
The
But I like
Asian dad from Fresh Off
Fresh
the
Off
Boat.
the Boat. Yeah.
He's been in a few
He's
things
been in
lately,
a bunch. Yeah.
and I can see his name like on the
I know.
intro. Like once you bring it up, we'll know it obviously.
Yeah.
And then we watched that Amy Schumer show on
Yep, that
Hulu.
And that one's pretty good. You kind of like it. I like it better, I think, more than you do.
I picked it, and then the way the show was, I was like, oh my God, I don't think Stephanie's
Randall
gonna like
Park.
Randall Park. There you go. I'm not sure Stephanie's gonna like this. And you actually might have gotten into it more
oh
than
my
I
God,
did.
I like love it.
It's like a weird emotional show about. I mean, Amy Schumer. It's not a. It's kind of a comedy. It's like a dark comedy.
Yeah, let's see what it says.
Life
It's
and Beth.
Life and Beth. Yeah, it's definitely
She's having she has flashbacks to when she's younger, and she's dealing with her like now fiance, and she works at like this nowhere job, and she's just like kind of like a miserable, unhappy person.
is
And
Life and Beth based on Amy's life.
it can't be.
Drew on her own experiences.
Okay, well,
But on your own experiences, it's like that doesn't mean that.
you could have a shitty job and say that's your experience and be part of the office. Like everybody has certain experiences.
Yeah.
It's like based on a true story.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like you have a lot of liberty with the story when you say based on a true story.
The whatever description says, after a sudden incident, Beth, a seemingly successful woman with a long-term relationship and steady career, takes a look back at her past to see who she wants to become.
Now, I don't want to fuck this up for people, and I do think if you have Hulu, you should give this show a watch because it is pretty well done. It's actually kind of well acted.
Oh my God, Michael Cera's in it.
Oh, really?
It must be in like other episodes. Yeah.
I would think because we didn't see him unless
Yeah.
he's dressed up as something. But do you think, and just your prediction,
Yeah.
do you think her boyfriend / partner / fiance,
Yeah.
do you think he really likes her? Do you think that's a twist where it's like we keep expecting that he doesn't because he's a good looking fit guy and she's kind of a Amy Schumer?
Yeah, it's the
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, how I don't know if it's just how the show is just trying to portray and just have it be in the way like whenever it's in Beth's perspective that it's like everyone thinks she's like miserable and looks miserable and she just has like just some I guess in a way RBF.
Super bad RBF.
Super bad RBF, and she's also like doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but also is just like kind of also logical thinking in the way like sometimes she says things to people.
Right.
I guess, and whatever. So, yeah, and her boyfriend in the show, they work together and like they're both salespeople, and he, from what you can gather, is just the top person of the
He's
company.
like an alpha.
And like she gets the job done, but like it just is what it is. And but when you see them interact, you don't really see this like spark.
Mm.
But then when you do see them together, you don't get the sense that he's like bullshitting her, or like it does seem like he has a genuine connection with her. It's like, it seems like they're both just very comfortable in their life.
Right. The cliche would be that he wants nothing to do with her, is cheating, blah blah blah.
But I don't think that's it.
I know.
And
I'm with you.
We've only watched 2 episodes.
I know,
so.
we're analyzing this whole show. We've watched
But I
two.
mean, if you've started
Maybe he was a fat kid. We don't know because he works out so much. We assume that he's always been fit. Maybe he lost 100 pounds. Maybe that's part of the show.
I don't know how long. We've only watched 2 episodes. We don't know how long they've been together. But she doesn't really have too many friends that she talks to. And
doesn't really have any except her sister.
Which I don't really know how much the way that their relationship is, I can't tell if they talk a lot or if it's like a holiday type of sister.
You know what's weird about the sister? If I had to make a weird prediction. She's younger. This is my prediction because I almost wonder if like the younger sister is dead. And I know that's a bizarre thing to say, and maybe it's the drinking. I don't, because
you said that in a different show.
Different show. This one, she's there.
Maybe you just think everyone's dead in shows when it doesn't make sense to you.
No, when people don't acknowledge the character. Like,
what do you mean?
There's a scene where they're at the bar.
Yeah.
The sister is there.
Yeah.
But nobody is talking to the sister.
She didn't want to be in that flash mob.
I know, but nobody has like acknowledged her existence as of yet. You don't see her interacting with people. She's at that thing.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm probably way wrong. Don't get me wrong. This is like the peanut butter cup whiskey talking.
Yeah, I think you... Yeah.
Like I said, I could be 1,000% wrong. And after The Sixth Sense, everything's open to people being dead in scenes.
Yeah. Because what was the other one where you thought someone was dead?
I don't know. Fucking everybody should be dead. There should always be one dead person in a show that makes you wonder, like, hey, are they there? Are they really there?
I don't think it was The Life and Beth that you thought that someone was dead.
No, because I'm literally just saying that right now. But there was another show, 100%, Stephanie, where I was like, is that person even alive? I mean, I told you the other day there was internet theories about Phoebe.
Oh, yeah, which is like so crazy.
That is stupid.
We are watching Reboot, too. We just finished that.
Reboot on Hulu. That's pretty good. I mean,
I like that, too.
It's okay. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, but it's entertaining.
Oh, that was pretty good.
You know?
Yeah, I liked it.
I don't think we really don't have a lot of shows.
I was surprised that was Paul Reiser. I hadn't seen him since Mad About You.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
He looked pretty good for an old guy.
Yeah, he was in Stranger Things, so I'd kind of seen him. I'd kind of been exposed to him. He was like a scientist guy in Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
And you never really watched much in the way of Stranger Things.
No, too strange.
We kind of, we're in I wouldn't say we're in a TV rut, because sometimes we'll sit and it's like, okay, what do we want to watch? We almost never, ever, except for sports, have it on the cable. It's all streaming. God, cable's such a gigantic waste sometimes. Fucking sports.
We watch Home Economics.
We watch Home Economics, but that's available on Hulu. We could watch all this shit, and we wouldn't need it. We just need the internet. But I feel like if we cancel our cable, the internet's still going to be $208, so we're only going to save like $6.
That's where they get you.
God, it's crazy. There is Elon Musk's Starlink Wi-Fi and
I don't
shit.
think we can get that here.
I think it's satellites in space. I think it's probably available.
Oh.
One of the guys on the show was using that on his end of the podcast last night, because he was down in Florida. He had all kinds of podcast equipment down there in this other studio.
Oh, he had another studio.
Well, his daughters and son-in-law, they're going to start doing a podcast, so they actually had almost all the same equipment down there.
Oh.
Looked pretty cool. They had a nice little room for it. Oh. Kind of like our studio here.
Yeah.
The black hole. Right? It's kind of crazy that's what we call it. I mean, it's all blue, but we call it the black hole.
It used to be black.
Did you like Theo's setup with the couches?
I never watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
I just.
How
see
did I
things.
watch it?
I sent stuff to you on Instagram.
That's what it was. So I was watching that.
I know
thing,
they sit
and
next
they
to
had
each
blue,
other.
They had well, they had couches, and they have like the boom mic like you have with the boom arm.
Yeah, I
And-
thought that they were sitting in. I thought they sat in recliners. Sometimes he's in 2 different studios.
He does have the studio where they're
He
at,
was,
and one in L.A.
The one that they were at is at his house
Hmm.
because you could hear his garage door open. On
Yeah.
The,
I should probably get one of those boom arms, and we could sit like facing each other just like this, and they'd microphone be, and we could talk just like this.
Sure,
It'd be perfect, right?
I guess so.
And then I could just adjust the cameras.
Yeah, sure.
So people could see my
Yeah.
gorgeous face
Yeah.
with my beard.
Yeah.
My beard's growing in. We've talked
You
about
do
it.
like that.
My beard report. I love my beard. I do like my beard a lot. When you're bald, like it's what you've got. Like you go bald, bitch. Like see how much you like your day. I'm just saying. Like I was just be
That
funny.
wasn't very nice.
Well, whatever. Like, ooh, you really like that beard. Well, yeah, I like to have something, like something to
It was
brush.
just cute how you said, "Yeah, I do like my beard."
Yeah. Oh, careful there.
It's all right.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Like, listen, my hair from the time I was 18 years old was falling out and thin. My beard comes in nice and thick,
Yeah, it is nice.
right? It's all gray, but I've just embraced it. I'm not coloring
Smells
it.
good too. It never smells bad.
Well, I try to put beard balm in it and wash it. I got beard wash and everything else, so I keep up with it.
But have you been using that mask?
I use it like once a week to hydrate it, but the stuff I put in it keeps it nice and moist too.
And I
Keeps
just
it
got
from
you
getting dry.
some facial serums,
Yeah,
some
I
retinol
like
and
that
some
all the-
vitamin C.
I like all that stuff, man. I think it's important. If you're a guy and you're listening to this, like, you gotta,
You have to still
it
have
used to
good
be
skincare.
labeled as being like effeminate or like metro. It'd gone through all these terms, but it's like, just do some fucking self care.
Yeah.
Because look around. Go grocery shopping at like, I don't know, 11 a.m. on a Thursday, and you'll see all the things you don't want to become. You'll see old people that can't walk. You're going to see
Yeah.
old people with their faces like sagging down to their fucking knees. You're going to see a loss of muscle and shit like prevent.
Yeah.
You hate my 7P saying. You hate it, but it's true. You're rolling your eyes. You literally look like you were possessed by a demon, which would totally make a lot of sense. But the 7Ps, baby. You just got to remember the 7Ps. Are you ready?
I guess.
Here we
so.
go.
I have
Brace
to-
yourself for Ken's wisdom. Look at your face. Like
I
this is
know,
a video. Like look at you have this look of hatred on your face. Like I hate you, Ken, because you
I just
say
heard
things.
it. You
But you
said
don't.
the
You've heard it so
poo.
much, but you couldn't say it.
Proper planning, pivots,
Pivots.
pitfalls,
Hmm.
painful pigeons.
Wow.
Please.
It was so
It's
close.
proper planning, poor. It's something with planning.
Proper, prior, planning, prevents, pitifully, poor, performance. So proper, prior, planning, prevents, pitifully, poor, performance. That's 100%.
I don't know what I said, but it was kind of along the lines. It was cute.
You said pigeon. There was a pigeon in there.
But there's pitiful and proper.
If you plan
planning.
properly, you can prevent your pigeon from pooping
From pitifully
on
pooping.
your pee-pee. Yeah.
That's
See?
gross.
There you go. That's all it takes, though. Just do some planning. Look
Yeah.
ahead. That's what life is. Like everybody, we are all presented with the end result. We've been to wakes. We've been to funerals. We see old people. And old people will say, oh, I wish I had done. And if we could listen to that shit, boom, easy peasy. That's what we have to do. So you just said you just bought those serums. I am 1,000% into that. If you're a guy and you're going to be like, oh, I don't need to put none of that shit on my face. Well, then fine. When your face, you could light a match off of when you're 55 or 60 years old, well, then good luck. But I do like tanning, so I know I'm fucking myself there.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to protect yourself. That's
Yeah.
all.
Marty makes melanomas. I'll have to have a 7 M's for the melanomas there. So, but anyway, so what other things do we have coming up? We have the kids coming up this weekend. So you're talking about going to craft fairs.
Yeah, no, find something.
I'm not sure. Hayden's got indoor track coming up, so I feel like we should do some sort of running thing. I've been running a little bit more. I know he probably needs to do a little running, get ready for indoor soccer,
Yeah,
indoor track,
yeah.
you know.
It's cold down here.
What's that?
It's a little chilly.
Oh, a little cold in the studio?
Yeah.
Just wait.
Feels,
Just
it
wait.
feels like it would be nice if the heat could be turned on.
Oh, yeah? That's too bad. Because it's not good for the audio. And it gets pretty toasty.
I wish we had known that. We could have planned better to make it warm for
The
me.
7 Ps, baby. Even when we run the heater, I mean, most of it gets lost through our super cool studio ceilings.
Yeah.
You know, someday it could be a closed off space.
Someday. But
Someday.
that wouldn't be our style.
No, because then we change. Like we would finish this. Look, it's not a finished space. We have curtains up. It's a fun little area to do what we're doing. Right? Costs us.
It's functional.
Yeah, we've said it before. It costs me maybe $200 and some time to get everything put up and have it look like this. And it is what it is. And a month from now,
finish
it would
if
be.
we decide to, because all they'd have to do,
It's just follow where we've got the curtains, right?
they could just take it whatever area they wanted to.
Yeah.
It'd be a quick finish.
And it would be fine. But maybe a month, like if we spend all this money on it, and then a month from now, you're like, oh, I don't think I want to do the podcast anymore. It's boring. It'd be a waste. It'd be all done.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
hey, listen, if there's some listeners out there wanting to do some fun, basement work, throw up some drywall, get your name out there, we would love to get
Yeah,
your work
maybe.
up.
Or if you're thinking about having a space, I'll say this. If you're thinking about having a space down in your basement that you want to have just kind of to yourself, your own little area, don't feel that you have to spend $10,000 finishing that space.
Yeah.
You can do something like this. It's not terrible. I know it's not like whatever, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's doing the job. I would
Yeah, it is doing the job.
I did the show down here without any walls.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any video, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the space. We enjoy being in this
Yeah.
space. The kids like playing video games in here. We've got a pretty good little family setup in this little, 10 by 10 area.
Yeah.
This little 100, and it's actually bigger than what we really need. But now we did all the bookcases and things like that for Lily's books, and she moves up.
Yeah.
So
We got a whole thing.
yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think we're kind of towards the end there.
Yeah.
We've been really good about so many different things, kind of wins for marriage wins.
Oh.
Yeah, marriage wins.
Oh, what are some good marriage wins we've had?
It sounds stupid, but we've really been eating all the food that we buy at the
Oh, yeah,
grocery store.
We've been just good, responsible adults.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
yep,
that's
yep.
a thing,
Yep.
right? Like, because for a long time, here's some advice for people as far as grocery shopping. If you're gonna try to buy things like that are either inexpensive, or you're gonna try to buy things that maybe are healthy, and you're gonna buy a bunch of shit, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, what are we having for dinner tonight?" And it's like, "Oh, I think we're having chicken and rice." And you know what most people say? Ugh, that sounds
I think a
terrible
lot of people
tonight.
like chicken and rice, though.
You know what I'm saying? It's just an example,
I
Stephanie. It's
know.
just
but
an
sometimes
example.
it is boring. But I was
It's
thinking
boring,
about,
and that's the thing. It's boring, and then
Like-
people order fucking pizza or they go out for Chinese, and we were those people for a long time, and we wasted so much
I know, but it
cash.
tastes so good.
So much cash. Yeah, it tastes good, but you know what also tastes good? The difference between a meal that you could have at home for like $25 and a meal that costs you $100 at a restaurant. It's ridiculous.
Can be tricky. Yeah.
And for people out there, if you're shopping, because everybody's talking, "Ooh, inflation, the cost of food. Listen, fucking steaks are expensive.
Yeah.
Good steaks. You can get like a 2-pack of steaks for us was like $25. But you know what? That's the cost of one meal
Yeah, sometimes that is
when you go out. So
that is the trick, yeah.
you can have a really nice meal at home for about $75 less than going out. So as far as our whole second marriage, giving people some advice, eat at home. It doesn't matter how expensive it is at the grocery store. It's still cheaper in some ways.
Or
in
you
some
should just,
things. Burgers are like
or you should just
burgers are
plan better
tricky.
when you go grocery shopping. If you're
proper
finding
prior planning. You're
Yeah, if
absolutely
you-
right.
if you're finding that you're not really like eating the food you're buying at the grocery store, you might be buying too much.
Yeah, or be honest with yourself. We actually got into a really good groove with just admitting that, hey, listen, this is the stuff we would go out to eat to get. We
Yeah.
would get subs. We would get wraps. We were like, shit, we are sandwich-based people.
Or like
for dinner.
Subway.
Yeah, so we literally just started getting things to make sandwiches and subs and shit at home. Like, why does it have to be? This is like the Thanksgiving argument.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Such terrible dead air that you just
I know,
gave
it's
us.
terrible.
Ugh.
Wow, thanks. But it's like the same argument with Thanksgiving. It's like you don't have to go with these rigid ideas of what dinner is. It doesn't have to be like meat and potatoes and this, like a meat and a starch. Fucking have whatever you want to eat at that time, whether it's breakfast food, a sandwich,
Cake.
cake's a tough one.
Cake.
Cake's tough. You don't even
Cookies?
like cake, Stephanie.
But people like cake.
What?
But people like cake.
Well, you
what
know
about
what?
cookies?
Cookies? Sure. Yeah, cookies. Why not? And you know what?
A
That's
crumble
kind of
cookie?
that's kind of a dumb thing people do as well. People are like, "Oh, I would never have cookies for dinner," and they'll eat 3 or 4 pieces of bread with butter. It's like, have the fucking cookies.
I'd have a crumble cookie for dinner.
You would have cookies 24/7 if they could make cookies. And you went from gummy worms to cookies, so you're kind of upping your snack game.
I know,
a
I
little
just got
bit.
old chocolate chippers this week.
Oh well,
I was thinking about pecan sandies or wafers, but I didn't want the wafers.
I love that one of us is on a completely like low to no carb diet, running at the gym, and the other one's like, ooh, I like chocolate chips.
They weren't the soft ones too. I got like
You got like the hard ones, the hard chipperoos.
the hard chips.
How you like it?
I ate a few of them because they were broken. I didn't want to put them broken in
Oh,
the
wow.
clear container, so I ate the broken ones.
Because you didn't want it to look bad having
Well,
broken
they're already
cookies.
broken, so I felt like excuse me.
There you go. There you go. Anything else going on? Because I know we're getting towards the end here.
Nope, going to Crumble tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Big life goals.
Yep.
The amount of money I spend on these fucking cookies. It's a little ridiculous. Sorry.
Yeah, so going to Crumble and hope gonna find a good craft fair. And I have a client. I have a client this week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Stephanie,
Yeah.
you're back at the spa.
Look who's back.
Back again. Hopefully they don't cancel. Not trying to be
Stephanie's
negative, but you've
back.
been through this plenty of times through
Tell
the
a
years.
friend. Yeah. Yeah, that is part of the business. People make appointments and cancel. But yeah. I'm
If
back.
anybody's looking for a facial, if anybody's looking for any of that
Facials,
stuff,
waxing.
yeah, get on the old Vigaro, right? Is that an app
Yeah,
that they could
just
use?
just DM me on Instagram.
Well, maybe they don't know you, Stephanie. So
Oh
it's
no,
a
you
Vigaro.
tell them. You tell them. No, it's just easier to just have them DM me on Instagram.
Okay, so if you want to reach out to Stephanie, if you're local, you want to get a facial or waxing or any of those kinds of things, anything from your local esthetician, you can reach her at snailer717 on Instagram, and that's a good way. And then she can instruct you from there. So if you
I'll
you
just send the link.
yeah,
I
if
mean,
you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly on all the different
reach out
platforms.
to you directly.
What's that?
Reach out to you.
Reach out to me directly. That's
Ken
right.
will book you.
I'll be your friend.
Waxes.
You can follow us. You can follow me really on Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram,
follow Ken.
Twitter, you name it, TikTok at XcastKen.
He's so cute.
I'm all out
Follow
there
him.
on all the
He's out there, baby.
platforms, baby. I'm
He's not
hustling, right?
naked.
I'm hustling.
He's clothed, but he's out there.
Yeah, you and I had a real difference of things lately because I don't know if we talked about it on the last show, but I could have strangled you. You are the first person I know personally that was getting paid, that got monetized to be on social
We've
media.
talked about this before.
It drives me crazy.
I made $1 today.
Yeah. You could have made not serious money,
Yeah, I don't know what I could have made. You think that
but
some
even
of
if it
the
was
stuff I don't...
$100 a month to do what
I might be
I've
able
been
to.
arguing with you about
I only
doing.
need to make $90.80
Something-
before
that noise obviously is
before
very
the
bad
end
for
of the month, and I'll get $100.
sure. Okay, well then get hustling. I'll send you content. Like I'm putting stuff out there to try to promote the show and get people like looking at our like all the links and business and you name it. I'm really trying to embrace social media after being such a curmudgeon for so long about it. A curmudgeon. And now you got the opportunity to make money. And then you were literally
make
like
make money.
You were kind of like, nah, I'm good.
That wasn't it.
It was
just,
a little bit.
I think. I thought I was getting hacked. So after that, which we've gone over.
Yeah, we
but
did.
I
go
mean,
over.
I just put out stuff that I like. So
Yeah,
and
I guess that's the way to do it.
yeah.
Well, anyway, follow me. Don't follow Stephanie because she don't care, obviously. So
That's not true.
follow my stuff
You
at
can follow me.
XCastCan.
I'm true to myself.
There you go. You live in your truth.
Ah, thank you.
Ugh, I hate
Yes.
that saying. It's
I am just
garbage.
living my truth. Actually, I'm just living the
Just
Steffi
living.
lifestyle.
I don't know what that is. I didn't know that was a brand. Is that something you and Kristen Cavallari and Martha Stewart are gonna
I think it's
market?
just. I think it's just I've always been the same. I just do what Steffi wants to do.
Great. Well, that'll work out for me, I'm sure.
I mean, you live with me. Like you've said to me.
For now,
I'm
yeah.
just.
Well, when you say things like,
Why
well,
would you say
Steffi does what Steffi wants, I mean, that doesn't sound very good for a
Oh, it's
relationship.
not good, but I mean, like, you tell me to do things, and sometimes I'm still just going to do it the way I do it.
Yeah.
And that bothers you sometimes.
Well, yeah, because sometimes, like at work, when I'm like, hey, can you do this? And you just don't pay attention and do it your own way, and it's wrong, and I have to redo it. Yeah, that kind of sometimes bothers me. Yeah, I don't know why that would. Isn't that silly?
I think but you're not the first one.
No shit. I am not surprised by that in any way, shape, or form. And I know if anybody listens, they'll say, ooh, Ken's a real asshole. No, I'm a realist.
My mom used to say that to me when I was younger. Oh, just do what you want anyway. Just do what Steffi wants.
Yeah. 100%. You know, but.
I paid the price, though.
Well, that's it. So you got to learn, like, ooh,
Yeah.
you almost have to do
I'm
a
willing
George
to
Costanza.
I'm kind of willing to take the risk anytime I'm wanting to do something.
Yeah, you got to do George Costanza and say, oh, I want to do it this way. I'm going to do it the opposite. See how that works out. Might make some big changes.
I don't know. I think I'm doing pretty good. So
There you go. That's all you can do.
yeah.
You know.
But I think that's it. I don't think there's really anything much left this week. We'll have to see what happens for next week. Fill them in about my client if they showed up. I hope they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I think on that note, as we're sitting here staring at each other, I'm probably thinking like, I'm getting hungry for dinner.
I have to use the restroom.
Well, there you go. I mean, we could have paused it. We could have paused it and had you come back, but it's been an hour and a half, and we appreciate everybody.
Oh my God.
Right? See, we appreciate everybody that listened for the full hour and a half, and if you've been watching, we appreciate that. Well, this will be out on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. You can see Stephanie and I in our glory. You can see my beautiful beard, and you can see Stephanie's eye rolls and all that stuff. Oh, there's a little wave there. So again, we appreciate it for everybody here at Here We Go Again, and then we'll be back next week. If you like the show, please rate and review on any of the major platforms that you are listening, whether it be Apple, Spotify, you name it. Go ahead, share it, get it out there. We really do appreciate everything that people can do out on social media. And again, I know I've said this a few times, so it's a shameless plug. If you want to follow me on any of the social media things, you can reach me at xcastken, and you can find Stephanie on Instagram at snailer717. And well, again, we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yeah.
Adios, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody on the video.